Let's start with the basics. Psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behavior. It explores how we think, feel, and act, both as individuals and in groups. Psychologists aim to understand the underlying processes that drive our actions, emotions, and thoughts. From everyday decisions to complex emotional responses, psychology helps us make sense of ourselves and others. Throughout this video, we'll break down essential concepts, making them easy to grasp and relevant to your daily life. So whether you're curious about why people behave the way they do or want to improve your own mental well-being, you're in the right place. One of the oldest debates in psychology is nature versus nurture. This concept asks, are our behaviors and personalities shaped more by our genetics or by our environment? Nature refers to the traits we inherit from our parents, while nurture involves the experiences and influences we encounter as we grow. Most psychologists agree that both play a role, working together to shape who we are. Understanding this balance helps us appreciate the complexity of human development and why people are so unique. Classical conditioning is a learning process discovered by Ivan Pavlov. It explains how we can learn to associate one thing with another. For example, if a dog hears a bell every time it's fed, it will eventually start to salivate at the sound of the bell alone. This concept helps us understand how habits form and why certain triggers can lead to automatic responses. It's not just about dogs. Humans are also influenced by classical conditioning in daily life, from advertising jingles to emotional reactions. Operant conditioning, introduced by B.F. Skinner, focuses on how consequences shape behavior. If a behavior is followed by a reward, we're more likely to repeat it. If it's followed by a punishment, we're less likely to do it again. This concept is key in understanding how habits are built and changed, whether it's training a pet or motivating yourself to study. Operant conditioning is used everywhere, from classrooms to workplaces, to encourage positive actions and discourage negative ones. Cognitive dissonance is the uncomfortable feeling we get when our beliefs and actions don't match. For example, if you value health but eat junk food, you might feel uneasy. To reduce this discomfort, people often change their beliefs or justify their actions. This concept explains why we sometimes make excuses or shift our opinions. Recognizing cognitive dissonance can help us make more honest choices and understand our own motivations better. Sigmund Freud introduced the idea of the unconscious mind, a part of our mind that influences thoughts and behaviors without us being aware of it. The unconscious holds memories, desires, and feelings that shape our actions, often in subtle ways. While some of Freud's ideas are debated today, the concept of unconscious processes remains important in psychology. It helps explain why we sometimes act in ways we can't easily explain, and why self-reflection is so valuable. Attachment theory explores how early relationships with caregivers shape our emotional development. Psychologist John Bowlby suggested that the bonds we form as children influence how we connect with others later in life. Secure attachment leads to healthy relationships, while insecure attachment can cause challenges. Understanding attachment helps us see why some people find it easy to trust, while others may struggle with closeness or independence. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a pyramid that shows what motivates us. At the base are basic needs like food and safety. As those are met, we seek love, esteem, and finally, self-actualization, becoming the best version of ourselves. This concept helps explain why we pursue certain goals and how our needs change as we grow. It's a useful tool for understanding motivation and personal growth. Social influence is about how people affect each other's thoughts, feelings, and actions. This includes conformity, changing behavior to fit in with a group, and obedience, following authority figures. Social influence shapes everything from fashion trends to moral decisions. By understanding it, we can become more aware of how others impact us and make more independent choices. Memory is the process of storing and recalling information. It's not just about remembering facts. Memory shapes our identity and guides our decisions. Psychologists study different types of memory, like short-term, long-term, and working memory. Understanding how memory works can help us improve our learning and recall, and even understand why we sometimes forget things. Personality refers to the unique patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that make each person different. Psychologists have developed various theories to explain personality, such as the Big Five traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Understanding personality helps us appreciate differences and predict how people might respond in different situations. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as those of others. People with high emotional intelligence tend to have better relationships, handle stress well, and make thoughtful decisions. This concept is increasingly valued in workplaces and personal life, as it helps us navigate social situations and resolve conflicts effectively. Motivation is what drives us to act. Psychologists distinguish between intrinsic motivation, doing something because it's rewarding in itself, and extrinsic motivation, which comes from external rewards or pressures. Understanding what motivates us can help us set better goals and stay committed to them, whether it's learning a new skill or sticking to a healthy habit. Perception is how we interpret the world through our senses. It's more than just seeing or hearing, it's about making sense of what we experience. Our perceptions can be influenced by expectations, past experiences, and even our mood. This explains why two people can see the same event differently. Understanding perception helps us appreciate the complexity of human experience. Developmental psychology studies how people grow and change throughout life. Psychologists like Jean Piaget and Erik Erikson identified stages of development, from childhood to adulthood. Each stage brings new challenges and abilities, shaping our thinking, emotions, and relationships. Understanding these stages helps us support healthy growth and recognize the needs of people at different ages. Stress is a natural response to challenges, but how we cope with it makes a big difference. Psychologists study coping strategies, like problem solving, seeking support, or relaxation techniques. Understanding stress and coping helps us manage difficult situations more effectively and maintain our mental health. It's a key part of building resilience and well-being. Group dynamics explores how people behave in groups. It looks at roles, leadership, cooperation, and conflict. Understanding group dynamics helps us work better with others, whether in teams, families, or communities. It also explains phenomena like groupthink, where the desire for harmony can lead to poor decisions. Recognizing these patterns can improve teamwork and communication. Self-concept is how we see ourselves, our beliefs, values, and abilities. It shapes our confidence and influences our choices. A positive self-concept can lead to greater happiness and success, while a negative one can hold us back. Psychologists study how self-concept develops and how it can be improved through self-reflection and positive experiences. Mental health is about our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. Good mental health helps us handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Psychologists work to understand mental health challenges and promote strategies for maintaining balance and seeking help when needed. People learn in different ways. Some prefer visual information, others learn best by listening or doing. Understanding learning styles can help us tailor education and training to individual needs. While the idea of fixed learning styles is debated, recognizing our preferences can make learning more effective and enjoyable. We've explored some of the most important concepts in psychology, from how we learn and remember to what motivates us and shapes our relationships. Understanding these ideas can help us grow, connect with others, and navigate life's challenges. Psychology isn't just for experts, it's a tool everyone can use to better understand themselves and the world around them. Keep exploring, stay curious, and remember that self-awareness is the first step to positive change.